What's up guys, Steve here. Welcome back to my channel where we are going over Turo and how to make your fleet run as smoothly as possible. We're going to make this one kind of short and sweet and get right into it. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, do all that stuff down on the bottom. Drop in some comments, let me know what's going on, what's working for you guys, what's not. And if you're new to this and you don't even know what Turo is or what I'm talking about, you can check out some of my other videos and I basically break it down. But Turo is a peer-to-peer car sharing platform. It's like Airbnb for your cars, just like Avail, Share, Get Around. There's a couple other ones that are out there. It's just like that. Turo seems to be the one that's been around. I won't even say the longest, but they're the one that's gaining the most traction and that are more and more people are seeing. So that's kind of the platform that I mainly stick to. We started to get around way back when, but honestly, Turo is the one that we just stuck with. So that's a little bit about the car sharing platforms, period. But let's get right into this video. Now, the only thing that I can really say is, like I've said in previous videos, make sure you check that terms of service. Make sure you check for yourself. This is Turo's Bible. This is going to tell you whether you're going to succeed or fail in Turo. If you don't want to play by their rules, then most likely you're going to get burned, and you're probably that guy that's saying, oh man, Turo's out here to screw me, it's a scam, this and that. Now, most likely it's because you didn't follow their rules. I will say that it would be very beneficial for you to check out the terms of service for the renter as well. Because quite honestly, it's best to know both sides of the playing field and how to work both ways. And that way, especially with all these new renters coming on, you're able to kind of help them out and explain to them, hey, this is the process, this is this and that, yada, yada. But for yourself in particular, this will save you lots of headache and lots of money. I mean, obviously, you guys already know dealing with Turo, it is slower, it's a pain. So the more you know about their business and your business, the better off you're going to be, period. Now, along with this, make sure with the pre-trips, you guys are knocking out those photos, getting plenty of them, and you're finalizing that last step before you hand off the keys to the renter. Now, that final step is verifying the ID. Make sure that that lines up with the profile that's on the platform, on the app. Now, when you are doing this, I realize that there are other drivers, there's a secondary, there's other drivers other than the primary that are approved for the account. But bottom line, the primary driver has to be there and they have to show their proof and their valid ID, their valid driver's license at the time of pickup. I know that there has been a bunch of people that are not doing this and it's kind of screwing up everything for the rest of us, because when we are being legit, renters are kind of coming at us like, hey, I've rented cars before, they don't actually check this. And I know that there's also those same people that will just blow smoke just to try and, you know, see what happens, see if they can get away with it. But be as legit as possible so that way it's not messing up or screwing up the rest of us hosts that are trying to run a legit business or just run legit, period, for our personal car. Whether it's trying to supplement a payment or if you're actually trying to make income off of it. Make sure you guys are doing what's needed to be done. And I've seen this, like I said, I've seen it in the forums, I've seen it all over the place. We don't check, or guests have come to me and said, oh, I'm not going to upload a photo. You know, if you're doing that remote contactless check-in, or when they do show up and they're like, oh, reluctant to give you an ID, it's like, no, this is how things are ran. I've also done this where we're doing a remote check-in and the guy's very weary about uploading a photo of his personal information on the platform. Quite simply stated, I'm giving you my car, I could care less what your info is. I'm not going to do anything with it. And meanwhile, if I did do something with that information, you have all my stuff to where you know exactly who stole your information or your identity, if you think that's what's going to happen. But if you're afraid that's going to happen, then don't be renting my car in the first place, or don't be renting someone else's car that is on the platform where they're trying to run legit. Let's go back to the fact of that's my car that you're in, and I'm just giving it to you willy-nilly. You know, come on, let's be real here, guys. But make sure you guys are going through and actually checking that ID. Make sure the primary driver is there. Yes, I get it. Like I said, there's other drivers that can be approved, but the primary has to be there to pick up the car. None of this, oh, my mom got COVID, so she sent me to get it. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. She's going to have to be the one to come get it. So I don't know what to tell you. Otherwise, you know, you can either cancel the trip or the car will be right here until your mom can get here. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of, I hate to say it, that's how it goes though. This is how it's going to be and how you are going to protect yourself. Because if that primary driver does not ever show up, doesn't know anything about it, and now all of a sudden, you know, they total out this car and now they're jamming up, Turo's jamming up the primary driver. Boom, you're basically voided because you handed your car to somebody else that wasn't supposed to be there to pick up that car. Little things like that, you gotta be on top of it. Make sure you know those terms of service. Like I said, it's good to know both sides, renter and host. That way you can still play the game within the limits of both realms. And honestly, it's just kind of a cheat sheet too for the renters. And I'm sure that some of them have done that too for the host. There's lots of things that are out there. There's a bunch of, I'll just say there's a bunch of forums out there on how to kind of manipulate the system for Turo host, which really sucks because it's somebody out there trying to do whatever they can to get whatever they want out of the hosts. And it's really just, it kind of sucks, but you're going to get that anywhere you're at. Somebody's going to try and finagle the system. But regardless, we're getting off topic. Make sure you guys are checking that terms of service. Make sure you guys are checking that ID and you're making it and keeping it legit for the rest of us that are out there trying to supplement payments or making a living. Just make sure you're doing it legit. Don't take the easy way out. And I promise you this will help save you tons in the long run with accidents, with anything that happens to your car. I guarantee you, Turo's not going to pay out if they see that you're not validating everything. And believe me, they can tell if you're actually doing what you're supposed to be. So it's their platform. It's their app. Kind of think that they know the ins and outs of all that stuff going on. So just make sure you guys are covering yourself with all this stuff. Now, what happens to a car after the renter picks it up and leaves with it? That's on them. Obviously, that's out of your control. So just make sure you're controlling what you can on your part. That's basically all I got for you guys today. Like I said, short and simple. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment in the below, and let me know what's working for you guys. If you're coming across this too, if you're seeing a bunch of people saying, oh, I've never had to do that, you know, let me know. I'm curious because I've seen it a lot out there, and it's really kind of frustrating because then basically hosts like myself start getting questioned, and I know there's a bunch of other legit hosts out there. You start getting questions like, hey, why do I got to do this? So make sure you guys are all playing along on the same terms, on the same, same rules. We're all trying to do this, and the last thing we want to do is get caught up to where we're out a bunch of money because we're not following what we're supposed to. You're only cheating yourself if you're not following these rules. So it is what it is. Like I said, thanks for watching, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Later.